afternoon, and welcome to today's episode of Life After Graduation. I am your host, Harshvardhan Tripathi, and today we have a special guest who will share insight into their journey from graduation to a success career. Joining us is Mr. Abhijeet Kulkarni. Mr. Abhijeet Kulkarni, sir, is an alumnus of Acropolis Institute of Technology and Research from 2011 batch of Electrical and Electronics Communication Engineering. He is an accomplished innovation consultant at Cognizant. With a career spanning over a decade, he has proven track record in driving continuous improvement, organizational change management, and fostering creative problem solving within the diverse teams. Prior to his current role, he has made significant contributions at Capgemini, CompuCom, and Tata Communication. We are thrilled to have him has share his insights and experience with us today. So we welcome you for today's podcast, sir. So letting dive in, we have our very first question with Mr. Vijit, sir. So, sir, could you please share your journey from graduation to where you started and where you are now in your career?
Okay, a very good afternoon to all of you. Thank you, Harshvardhan, for a nice introduction. And I'm really excited to be a part of this podcast. Very happy to be a part of this alumni session. So, as your question said, I actually passed out in the year 2011, and the industry was coming out of recession back then. As you all know, there was a recession strike in 2008, and we were all coming out of that phase. So when I got passed out in 2011, there was no job availability for me. I mean, there was a good campus placement, though from our college, but then initially I somehow didn't got a job at that time. So I searched for a job initially, and then I landed up with a job in the year 2012. I had got a off-campus placement in Tata Communication where I joined in as a graduate engineer trainee. The initial journey was as I was from telecom background, so I joined in as an electronics and communication engineer, where I was responsible to work on various tickets and various issues related to routers and various service lines. So I learned basics of CCNA over there. Gradually, then I moved to a senior role in the Tata Communication profile, and then I got a chance to interact with a lot of leaders over there, switch my career from initially and do an internet job posting over there. Gradually, then I moved to a company called CompuCom, and that CompuCom I was again a part of. I was looking after some data analytics tool initially back then 2015. Post then I got a placement again in I moved my career into Capgemini, and Capgemini was actually transitioned my career from a different role. I moved to a middle management role at that time, and I learned various data transformation tools. I learned to interact with a lot of leaders. I understood how the industry works holistically, and then gradually, recently, I joined in Cognizant, where I'm working as an innovation consultant. I work with various banking industry to drive innovation in their account and bring in more ideas, which can bring in more revenue and bring in more value to our client side. So that's how it looks for the last decade. Over to you, Rashvardhan.
That's interesting, sir, to get insights about how your journey has passed. But being a graduate of electronic student, you are now something working in a different kind of domain. So, how challenging it is for you to switch the domain from core electrical department to being an innovation consultant?
Okay, very good question, Harshvardhan. And this is actually this question comes from I understand being a graduate student. This is a common question which comes into the mind that I'm working in XYZ domain. How can I switch my career over for into a different domain? So I'll just give you one thing that I what I've learned in my past decade is just go with the flow. It's as simple as that, you know. And whatever you're doing, if you have any inclination towards any particular domain, if you want to actually grow your career, maybe into data analytics or maybe into innovation management, change management, something like that, go with the flow. I mean, have an inclination towards that, inform your manager, leadership in that, and just try to have some part of it. You know, when I was a part of Tata Communication, my role was to work on various routers, Cisco routers. I did my CCNA learning over there, but then I was having inclination towards marketing management, towards this organizational change management. So in my in my past time or in my free time, what I used to do, I used to write content for my team. I used to create some compelling presentation for my team, and that's what I got a liberty from my manager. I informed my manager that I have inclination towards this domain. Can you give me liberty to work in that? He gave me, and definitely everyone, industry is very flexible, you know. You should be, I'm telling you, you should be a jack of all trades if you really want to succeed in your trajectory, you know. So have a balanced mindset. Inform, don't rush behind getting into a domain. Gradually you'll definitely land into a domain where you actually want to.
So there are great words that, as you said, the master of all trades, the jack of all trade and master of none. So what were the major challenges that you have faced by switching your domains? Uh, Definitely you are enthusiastic to work for another domain as well, but being in another domain, working in another domain, sometimes becomes very challenging with for us. So what were those major challenges that you have faced?
Okay, the first challenge I'll say that when you actually switch your career to different domain, you don't have much understanding of the domain, you know. So your degree speaks pounds, you know. So you're working, for example, I'm electronics communication. Everybody believes that I know each and everything about a router, I know about how an antenna works, how a TV works. But when I say I want to be a part of a, for example, I want to be part of organizational change management, I want to drive change management in my organization, right? Somebody will question you, where is your degree then, right? Or what's your learning about that? What's the experience all about that, right? So that's where I'm telling you that you can start step by step. That is, have something in your hand, like maybe it can be as simple as actually beautifying a presentation, or maybe writing a blog. For example, if you want to move from electrical domain to a software domain, for example, so what traits is being required? Learn. Maybe you can begin from doing some Udemy courses on as simple as doing an Excel course, or maybe you can begin with learning SQL, right? And then show your worth, show your certification to your manager, or to your team member somewhere, right? To your leadership, that okay, I'm focusing, I'm doing this. Can you give me a chance? Maybe they'll hand you some shadow projects what they're having with them, and then definitely you can grow in that. So challenge, I'm telling you, is to prove your worth, you know, somewhere. So if you can actually prove your worth by using some, doing some certification, or doing some hand life project, if you are getting in, then it's actually a very uh, beautiful thing will lie ahead of you.
Thank you so much, sir. This will really motivate our viewers. So, जैसा कि अभी recently COVID era pass हुआ है and it was a tough time for all of us. So, how do you stay motivated during challenging times in your career? Just we want to know how you face your challenges in such hard times.
Okay. Yes, very rightly pointed out, Harshvardhan. So at times you feel very low. Nothing wrong about that. And when you work in an industry which is continuously changing, and transformation जहाँ पे day in day out हो रहा है, ठीक है, you actually feel low at times, you know, and then motivation factor comes from within. At times मुझे भी लगता है, I'm very honestly speaking to you, that मुझे लगता है कि कहाँ मैं जॉब कर रहा हूँ यार, सब कुछ छोड़ के बैक, शुड आई मूव टू माय होम टाउन, वहाँ पे जॉब कर लेते हैं। दोस्त अच्छे थे, क्या मिस हो गया यार, क्यों यहाँ पे जॉब कर रहा है? होता है, ये सबके साथ होता है, ठीक है। कोई ऐसा बोलेगा मेरे साथ नहीं होता, आई डोंट एग्री विद दैट, ठीक है, हर एक के साथ होता है, ठीक है। बट देन द थिंग इज, if you actually have, you should have a vision. And I'm saying a vision, when I'm saying a vision, don't focus on things which is lying ahead, what, how I look after 5 years, 10 years. नहीं यार, where I'm standing currently in terms of my professional career, where should I move in next 6 months, 1 year, क्या मुझे accomplishment करना है, ठीक है। Maybe it can be as simple as doing a certification. It can be as simple as working on a project and delivering it on time. Maybe it can be grooming of your team members, something like that. Yeah, maybe you can be a part of some of the. Again, when I say about apart from a professional life, you can be a part of some of the social group. Be a part of it. Have a networking in place that will actually help a lot of thoughts flowing in your mind. So जब आप interact करते हैं बहुत लोगों से, सो ऑटोमेटिकली यू गेट अ बैलेंस। अरे हर कोई उसी नाव में है, यू नो, हर कोई उसी नैया में है, सबका वही चल रहा है, ठीक है। सो यू आर नॉट आपको ऐसा फील नहीं होता कि यार मैं अकेला पड़ गया, ठीक है? सो दैट एक्चुअली मोटिवेट्स यू समवेयर, ओके? So be a part, do good networking, do some good certification. Again, stay in touch with your parents, stay in touch with your family, your friends. Automatically सब ट्रैक पे आता है यार, सब उसी नाव में ही सवार है यार. That's what I believe.
That's great, sir. So the another question for you is, can you share any memory or lesson that you have learned in your early career days? Like when you just ended your professional setup, professional career, what were the things that you have learned in your early days?
Okay. So yes, Harsh, when I joined in, so at the time there was no social media presence. I mean, there was limited social media presence. So we were not having that active LinkedIn profiles. We were not having that active uh, platform to have an interaction with other colleagues or maybe the industry, contemporary industry people available in the market. So one of the experience was I performed well. I what I thought was in the initial year, but then I got a very low rating initially. It was like if I won't perform in next 6 months, they'll again throw me out of the industry. They'll throw me out of the company. So I went to my manager. I asked, ये क्या हो गया यार? मुझे अच्छा तो काम कर रहा हूँ मैं, आपको क्या लगता है? तो फिर then they actually told me कि you are doing a work, you are very active in conducting this event, you are active in doing that event, you are very good in designing PPT, in working on Photoshop at that time, right? But then this is not the expectation from you. आपकी एक्सपेक्टेशन है, आप ये कर रहे हो, दिस इज अ गुड पार्ट 10%, बट कंपनी का प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी कहाँ से आता है? वो आता है जो आपको काम असाइन किया है उसमें, राइट? सो यू शुड बी फ्लेक्सिबल इनफ, यू शुड हैव चेंज मैनेजमेंट अगर आपको इम्प्लीमेंट करना है, या इफ यू से दैट अगर मुझे चेंज लाना है तो पहले मुझे अडेप्टेबल होना पड़ेगा, राइट? So accept this thing that the industry will work as per their requirement, right? You can position yourself in a way where you can find a workaround. आप ऐसा कुछ workaround ढूंढ सकते हैं जहाँ पे बैलेंस हो जाएगी चीजें, ठीक है? But if you are doing something, for example, if you are maybe if you are creating a code which is not required by the customer, right? तो उस कोड का मतलब क्या है यार? वो कितना भी अच्छा कोड हो, मुझे रिक्वायरमेंट है ही नहीं उससे. सो दैट वन एक्सपीरियंस मुझे वहां पे समझ में आया कि आप इंडस्ट्री को नहीं चलाते, इंडस्ट्री आपको चलाती है, ठीक है? So you should actually be very flexible to adapt with that change.
Okay, so
Yes.
so the next question is, whenever you have such diverse skill set, हमारे किसी के पास भी जब इतनी diverse skill set होती है, so the major thing is we should know how to prioritize our work. So how do you prioritize your task and work and manage your time efficiently?
Okay, nice question, Harshvardhan. Yes, definitely. As I told you, being getting into industry gradually, आप jack of all trades बन जाते हैं, and definitely then you have a lot of things to do. Then ये करना है, वो करना है, किसको prioritize करें, ठीक है? Then everything comes from the profitability of business. What actually business को क्या चाहिए, ठीक है? And definitely again the deadlines and everything comes into picture. अगर मुझे being into innovation management, I have to take a training maybe on design thinking, बट अगेन मुझे कुछ ऐसा डिलीवर करना है, मे बी यूजिंग अ पावर बीआई डैशबोर्ड, मुझे वो करना है क्लाइंट साइड, सो विच इज इम्पैक्टिंग माई बिजनेस. और ये अब हमारे प्रोफेशनल लाइफ, पर्सनल लाइफ में भी होता है, राइट? मुझे क्या इम्पैक्ट कर रहा है यार, ठीक है? मैं दोस्तों के साथ जाना है, आज नहीं कल चले जाऊंगा, बट आज अगर एग्जाम नहीं तो फेल हो जाऊंगा यार, राइट? माई प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी विल गेट इम्पैक्टेड, राइट? So same works for any of the company. So prioritization of begins when you actually measure the profitability. सामने वाले को क्या चाहिए, ठीक है? और मैं क्या बेस्ट डिलीवर कर सकता हूँ, ठीक है? देयर आर फोर क्वाड्रेंट्स. इफ यू डू सम आई मीन ग्रेजुअली व्हेन यू कम इन इंडस्ट्री, आपको प्रायोरिटाइजेशन इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ चार क्वाड्रेंट सीखने को मिलेगा, ठीक है? विच इज इंपॉर्टेंट एंड विच इज प्रायोरिटी बॉक्स में किसकी प्रायोरिटी ऊंची रखना है, कौन सा इंपॉर्टेंट टास्क है, ठीक है? जब आप एक्चुअली बनाते हो क्वाड्रेंट को, यू विल फिल्टर आउट कुछ टास्क है जो इंपॉर्टेंट भी नहीं है, प्रायोरिटी भी नहीं, उसको हटा दो, ठीक है? So automatically you will know what is important for today and for the upcoming week, which I have to deliver on time.
Very well answered, sir. So the next upcoming questions are kind of rapid fire questions. So you have to just say yes or no. It is just for an to make our session more interesting. So I'll just
Okay.
ask question and you have to answer in yes or no. Okay. So it will be some out of the box type questions. So
Uh-huh.
the first question is, Have you ever laughed at a joke that you didn't understand just to fit in?
Yes.
The next question is, have you ever pretended to be sick to get out of something?
No, actually.
Have you ever said, मैम नोटबुक तो घर रह गई है, असाइनमेंट तो कंप्लीट था?
Yes, yes, absolutely. A lot of times.
Uh, have you ever had to give a presentation while feeling extremely nervous?
Yes, yes.
Uh,
And there was an instance also, maybe I'll tell you that incident after your rapid fire.
okay, sir. Have you ever forgotten someone's name immediately after being introduced?
Yes, yes. I forgot my boss's, I mean, my super boss's name, you know.
Have you ever laughed so hard that you couldn't stop, even though nothing was there like that?
Yes, yes. At a lot of times in college
Okay,
and even in office. Yeah.
I'm curious to know that story that you were telling about your presentation.
Okay, so we joined as a GT in this thing office, and though I was very active in my college and I was very good in presentation, but I was very nervous in office, you know, because everybody was saying office is something different. You don't have to speak sir. वहाँ पे सब नाम से बुलाते हैं और आपका ऑफिस में अच्छा इंप्रेशन नहीं रहा तो बाहर कर देंगे आपको, ठीक है. So what happened is I was supposed to give a presentation on a some Cisco router, something like that, ठीक है. And my friend who was just next to me was supposed to give us something else. हुआ क्या कि उसका प्रेजेंटेशन चल गया मेरे इस वक्त, ठीक है. एंड आई वाज सो नर्वस, मुझे लगा कि शायद कुछ हुआ होगा, टेक्नोलॉजिकल चेंज चेंज जो मुझे बदल गया है और मैंने वो प्रेजेंटेशन दे दिया, ठीक है. सो आई वाज सो नर्वस, मैं बोल दिया. एंड माय माय जो हमारे ट्रेनर थे उन्होंने कहा कि यार ये तो मैंने आपको पढ़ाया ही नहीं जो आप बता रहे हो, ये दिस इज नॉट फ्रॉम योर बैच. मैंने कहा सर आई डोंट नो, मतलब मैं इतना नर्वस था, मैंने बता दिया. आई वाज जस्ट रीडिंग स्लाइड्स, मैं सिर्फ पढ़ता रहा एट दैन मुझे ही पता नहीं मैंने क्या पढ़ दिया. And then actually everybody was very, they laughed on that instant. But yes, it happens, you become very nervous at times.
It was an interesting incident, sir. So
Right.
it's time for the another questions from you, sir. So this question will help out other younger students to learn more. So the question is, what skills or qualities are the most important for success in today's job market?
Okay, sure, Harshvardhan, and I'll take a little bit time on this one because this is
Yes,
very
sir.
important question, I believe. First thing is very important. I'll tell you first some few functional skills what you should acquire, and then some behavioral skills what you should have. Okay, so functional skill में see technology is changing day in day out. Okay, जब हम लोग थे everybody was focusing on .NET SQL in IT branch, सब C++ सीखते थे उस वक्त, ठीक है. And then now there is nobody talks about C++. Python आ गया है, gradually things are moving ahead. Gen AI you must have heard about Gen AI. So don't run
Yes,
behind
sir.
technology as of now, ठीक है. जो आपका कोर्स है उससे फोकस करो, ठीक है. यूल गेट इनटू अ जॉब, अंदर जॉब में आपको सब बड़े बड़े एक्सपर्ट्स बैठे हैं आपको सिखाने के लिए. बट व्हाट फंक्शनल स्किल यू शुड हैव इज, हैव नंबर वन, होल्ड ऑन डेटाबेस. दैट इज आपका एक्सेल स्किल एक बेसिक होना चाहिए. व्हाई द रीजन बीइंग, एक्सेल इज देयर टू सर्वाइव. एक्सेल इज आवर डेटाबेस, एवरीबॉडी मेंटेन्स अ डेटाबेस इन द वर्ल्ड, ठीक है. सो एक्सेल अभी प्रिविलेंट है, शायद आगे भी रहेगा. बेसिक एक्सेल स्किल आना चाहिए आपको, ठीक है. नंबर वन फंक्शनल स्किल, ठीक है. नंबर टू, हैव अ गुड एक्सप्रेसिव स्किल्स, ठीक है. मैं कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ कि यू शुड हैव गुड इंग्लिश एंड ऑल. आपको एक्सप्रेस करते आना चाहिए आपके मन में क्या है, आपके दिमाग में क्या चल रहा है, ठीक है. That is very very important. Gradually you will learn words, you will learn technical jargons of coming into industry. I have seen people who doesn't have good hold on English but अभी वो fluently बोलते हैं, ठीक है. So English is not a concern, ठीक है. आप able to express कर पाते हो, that is very much important, ठीक है. That is something which will actually differentiate you in your placement, in your when you will switch job or when you will be able to express in front of customer, ठीक है. आप openly कम शब्दों में या कह लो कि टू द पॉइंट कितना एफिशिएंटली बोल पाते हैं, ये आपका एक खूबी है. आपको बोलते आना चाहिए, ठीक है ना. Yeah, so that is one thing I usually ask people to practice this thing within your group, within your team members, आपके दोस्तों के साथ. This is very important. And then one more thing is networking is very important to stay very updated in this era. ठीक है, because you should have a good network, connect, have an active LinkedIn profile. This actually will differentiate with you with the fellow people who are joining in. ठीक है, क्या है? I'll just give you one example. Understand in this way analogy. वी ऑल वर्क इन अ पिरामिड स्ट्रक्चर. ठीक है, पिरामिड देखा होगा आपने, राइट? है ना? सो क्या होता है, पिरामिड में बेस बड़ा बड़ा है. ठीक है, सो लॉट ऑफ पीपल एक्चुअली कम इनटू द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. अभी आपने देखा होगा, यू मस्ट हैव सीन, यू आर ऑल ऑफ यू आर फ्रॉम कॉलेज ग्रेजुएट्स. आपने देखा होगा कि 2008 में टीसीएस यूज्ड टू हायर पीपल ऑन 3.8 का पैकेज, राइट? स्टिल TCS is hiring people at somewhere around इतने का ही पैकेज है, somewhere कुछ तो भी इंक्रीमेंट हुआ है, but that is not up to the market standards, right? ऐसा लोग बोलते हैं. I'm just giving an example of TCS. I may be incorrect, but most of the companies are falling in the same bucket, right? But ऐसा क्यों है यार? Because in 2008 or 7, TCS or any other company used to hire only 10 to 20 people or maybe 100 people across India, right? Now things are getting expanded. Base बड़ा हो रहा है. अभी 10,000 लोगों की हायरिंग हो रही है, राइट? सो इतने लोगों को जॉब मिल रहा है. यू आर गेटिंग अ लॉट ऑफ जॉब्स इन द मार्केट, इन द आईटी इंडस्ट्री, राइट? है ना? So to accommodate that thing, the companies are doing that. But then what is that differentiator factor in you? पिरामिड ऐसा है, सीईओ एक ही होता है कंपनी का, बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स कम होते हैं, 10 15 20 25 30 वॉट. ठीक है, आपको एक्चुअली क्लाइम करना है, तो आपको आपके अंदर एक, you should brand yourself in a way which actually differentiates. LinkedIn is a very good platform. ठीक है, do some certification internally करो. ठीक है, उसको LinkedIn पे शेयर करो. Have a visibility in front of a manager and have a good technological hold when you're working. ठीक है, so these are some functional skill you can actually aspire for. Again, one thing, I'm moving to the second part, that is behavioral change. What I've observed in people is, मैंने देखा है जब फ्रेशर ज्वाइन करते हैं, जैसे मुझे शिफ्ट में काम नहीं करना है, मुझे डेवलपमेंट चाहिए, मुझे सपोर्ट नहीं चाहिए. सो व्हाट हैपेंस इज दे बिकम इनिशियली बड़े रेजिस्ट कर जाते हैं कि मुझे ये नहीं करना है, मुझे वो नहीं करना. ठीक है, विच इज अ हिंड्रेंस टू यू. ठीक है ना? इनिशियली, एज आई टोल्ड यू अर्लियर, गो विद द फ्लो, जो आ रहा है सब करो. ठीक है, शिफ्ट आप बोलो सर, शिफ्ट के शिफ्ट में काम करना सीखने को मिलना चाहिए. ठीक है, आप बोलो ग्रेवयार्ड 5 to 2 इन द इवनिंग आई विल वर्क, इन द नाइट 10 to 6 आई विल वर्क. अभी इनिशियली यू आर यंग ब्लड, राइट? Everybody is young blood who is recently joined in the workforce, right? Be flexible, don't have restriction कि मैं ये नहीं करूंगा, वो नहीं करूंगा, कोडिंग नहीं करूंगा. Gradually जब आप फ्लो के साथ जाते हो ना, I have seen lot of people who are from support background, जो टिकट्स पे काम करते हैं, देन दे ग्रेजुअली मूव टू डेवलपमेंट डेवलपर. ऑल ऑफ आर डेवलपर जिन्होंने मेरे साथ ज्वाइन किया था, मेरे प्रीवियस बैच में थे. ठीक है, वो डेवलपमेंट बैकग्राउंड से बहुत लोग थे, CSIT के भी थे. वो ग्रेजुअली दे आर गुड. उन्होंने सपोर्ट बैकग्राउंड ज्वाइन किया, किसी ने डिप्लॉयमेंट ज्वाइन किया था, किसी ने सिंपल एडमिन टास्क करने के लिए भी ज्वाइन किया था. ओके, बट देन ग्रेजुअली देयर आर लॉट ऑफ ओपनिंग्स. यू शुड हैव अ वेरी गुड repo with your team, and that comes when you are very flexible, adaptable to whatever coming in your way. सो हैव दैट बिहेवियरल माइंडसेट कि जो भी आएगा ना, मुझे तो उसमें एक्सेल करना ही है यार. ठीक है, तुम कुछ भी दे दो यार, मैं जिस कोटिंग योर नेम, मैं हर्षवर्धन, मैं अगर इंडस्ट्री में हूँ तो मुझे तो आगे बढ़ना है, कोई भी टेक्नोलॉजी लिया, कुछ भी लिया. दैट्स व्हाट माइंडसेट यू शुड हैव, पता है? सो दैट इज वन थिंग, बिहेवियरल, एंड दैट टोल्ड यू अबाउट फंक्शन. सो दिस इज very much thing required in the industry to survive actually. Over to you, Harsh.
Was really inspiring, sir. So the next question from you is, what role did self-reflection and goal setting play in shaping your career path?
Okay, a very good question again, Harshvardhan. You people have actually quoted a very good set of questions. So self-reflection plays a very important role. But then again, as I told you, that have small goals, okay, in front of you. Don't think about larger vision कि मैं ये कर दूंगा, वो कर दूंगा, सब ठीक है. Everybody, you know what happens is, I'll tell you, there is a term you must have been familiar with, that is FOMO, fear of missing out, right? FOMO आपने सुना होगा कहीं पर, right? है ना? होता क्या है, जब हम बड़ा विजन रखते हैं कि मैं साल के अंत में ये कर दूंगा, मैं साल के अंत में आई शुड हैव आई विल बी जॉइनिंग अ जिम, मेरी बॉडी बन जाना चाहिए, आई शुड बी इन गुड शेप, व्हाटएवर. ठीक है ना? और जब होता नहीं है ना वो, ठीक है, एंड व्हेन डेज पास आउट, ठीक है, यू एक्चुअली थिंक मैंने जो चॉकआउट किया था वो सही किया था कि नहीं किया था, राइट? है ना? यू डाउट योर सेल्फ. देन यू सिट बिहाइंड, फिर तुम सोचते हैं मेरी कहाँ गलती हो गई है, ठीक है ना, क्या हो गया है, ठीक है. सो व्हाट हैपेंस इज, व्हाट इज माय मेथोडोलॉजी इज, एक हफ्ते का 15 दिन का गोल बनाओ, ठीक है, उस पर काम करो. अगर नहीं हुआ तो वापस से 15 दिन वही बना लेना यार, ठीक है. यू वोंट फील दैट अरे यार मैं बहुत पीछे छूट गया, अप्रैल आ गया, दिसंबर तक मुझे ये करना है, साल भर का विजन था. ओके, यू शुड हैव अ विजन, बट देन गोल सेटिंग and will come in blocks. And when you have a goal setting in blocks, ठीक है, then after that goal completion you should think, you should sit back and think कहाँ पे गलती हो गई, क्या इम्प्रोवाइज कर सकता था मैं, ठीक है ना. फॉर एग्जाम्पल आई गिव यू वन वेरी गुड एग्जाम्पल. अभी आप मेरा पॉडकास्ट ले रही हो, right? And then definitely, I really appreciate the way you are talking to me. I really appreciate all the people who are in the call. But then sit back. You have done an excellent job. ठीक है. What? How can I improvise things, right? Everything, हर iteration में हमें improvise करना, ठीक है. मैं भी बैठूंगा अभी कुछ टाइम बाद कि क्या improve कर सकता हूँ मैं, ठीक है. This will really help you. The reason being, when you actually self reflect and try to add plus one, ठीक है, कि मैंने कल 5 किलो का डंबल किया था, आज मैं 6 किलो करूंगा. वेरी वेरी सिंपल एनालॉजी, लेमैन एग्जाम्पल दे रहा हूँ, ठीक है. when you do this thing, this will increase your confidence somewhere, ठीक है. So have a short term goal. At the end of every goal, sit back, think, and then improvise.
That's really inspiring, sir. Thank you. So we just discussed about how goal setting and all plays importance in our career. So moving to the next question that I want to hear from you, sir. Like entrepreneurship is something that is in boom these days, and students who are undergraduate, it is very risky for them to adapt entrepreneurship क्योंकि एक बहुत रिस्की चीज होती है कि entrepreneurship को एक करियर पाथ
Hmm.
बनाना and not working on their placements and jobs, either working on for a company or for a startup. So my question is, what advice did you give for the graduates that are considering entrepreneurship?
Okay, very good question, Harsh. Again, so definitely entrepreneurship is booming in the market. I really I second you on that. The only thing is, you what is that you, are you sure, pretty much sure on which you want to start somewhere. See, what happens is, being a very newbie in the market, one should, I this is again my personal opinion, okay, and this is what I've seen in the market. One should have some industry experience before starting something of his or her own, you know. The reason being, once you understand the market very well, once you understand how the industry works, then you are very free to start something of your own. Definitely you can have a side hustle, you can work on your product or your service, what you want to make as your business, but then have that blend of industry, understand how things work, travel to different cities. Maybe if you get placed, travel to Bangalore, travel to Pune, Mumbai, whatever you feel comfortable in. Understand how the market looks like. Do you have any duplicate product already available in the market? If yes, how can you counter it, right? So this you will understand only if you are in the market, you know, if you're in as a part of industry. होता क्या है हमारे साथ कि entrepreneurship is really good, and I know a few of my colleagues, I mean my friends in college from Acropolis who have started business now, and they're doing good. But then I remember they worked for almost 3 to 4 years in with TCS. I think few worked with HCL, something like that. Once I understood, okay, this is how we interact with customer. This is what the expectation of customer is, right? How the actually contribution margin comes into picture, how we can sell a product, right? Then definitely you can start entrepreneurship. There is no wrong in that. You should have that spirit of entrepreneurship, you know. This is one thing, Harshvardhan. Second thing is, I I just want to let you know that there are a lot of industry in the industry. There are a lot of ventures available. You know, it's not like that you want to start your business, or if you want to you do your startup. The only thing is you have to leave your job and start everything. Okay, a lot of side hustles available. If you're good at in content, you can be a part of freelancer.com, or maybe do some freelancing job. You can be a content writer, right? If you are really good at making some video or maybe editing some videos, there are a lot of ventures available in the market where you can understand how things work. Be a part of that, okay? Side hustle, maybe you can visit Saturday Sunday, okay? If you want to be maybe अगर आप कुछ start करना है अपना as in the form of maybe SEO or digital social media, ठीक है? किसी कंपनी के साथ जुड़ के एज एन साइड इंटर्नशिप और मे बी एज अ फ्रीलांसर प्रोजेक्ट तो लो पहले। समझो तो सही कस्टमर को चाहिए क्या, आप जो बेच रहे हो और जो कस्टमर को चाहिए उसमें बहुत डिफरेंस हो सकता है, ठीक है। Really, if you even if you find an opportunity that okay, this is what is lacking in the market, still there can be a difference, okay, in actually implementing that opportunity or that idea, you know. So mera ye suggestion hai, it's very good to have that entrepreneurship spirit in you. First, be a part of some organization, understand how the industry works, try to blend yourself with the industry, and then at the same time work on a side hustle. Once you gain that confidence, move towards that. Definitely. Yes.
स्टिल जो लेटेस्ट मेंटेलिटी है अभी के टाइम में स्टूडेंट्स की, दैट दे डोंट वांट टू वर्क अंडर एनीवन, दे जस्ट इन देयर ग्रेजुएशन दे वांट कि हम लोग कुछ स्टार्ट करें, they have that gut feeling that they have to start. So, what advice you want to give these type of students who are taking risks, not involving in skill development, rather they are
Hmm.
more on their guts that they want to do something.
Okay. So again, even if you want to start something of your own, no problem. If you have that belief in you, ऐसा नहीं है कि मैंने तो ये मेरा ओपिनियन है, ठीक है, कि इंडस्ट्री में जाके आप पार्ट बन के समझ के फिर entrepreneurship ज्वाइन करो. But if you have a strong belief in you, you can start of your own. But then what, understand, see your product or your service, whatever you want to offer, even if you ये पार्ट, अगर आपको सर्विस इंडस्ट्री का पार्ट बनना है, so आपका प्रोडक्ट विल बी योर सर्विसेज, राइट। आपके सर्विस को जितना जान सकते हो उतना जानो, ठीक है, आपके प्रोडक्ट को जितना समझ सकते हो उतना समझो, ठीक है। रिसर्च करो, ठीक है। मार्केट रिसर्च इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बिफोर लॉन्चिंग इट, ठीक है। अंडरस्टैंड, हायर अ रिसर्च इफ यू वांट, ओके, थोड़ा सा आपको खर्च करना पड़ेगा इफ यू रियली वांट टू गो इनटू एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप, राइट। एंड देन ग्रूम, अंडरस्टैंड योर रिसर्च की जो फाइंडिंग्स है उस पर अपने प्रोडक्ट को ग्रूम करो, ठीक है। एंड डेफिनेटली स्किल डेवलपमेंट विल गो इन हैंड इन हैंड, ठीक है। अगर कल को मैं आपको, राजवीर को कहता हूँ कि मुझे फोटोशॉप पे बना के दो, ठीक है, आपने बना के दे दिया, ठीक है ना। बट अगर मुझे ही फोटोशॉप बना के पे काम करते नहीं आता है, फॉर एग्जांपल, ठीक है, तो आप तो कुछ ही बना दोगे, आई से अच्छा इतना ही आता है, होता है फोटोशॉप में, राइट। आई मस्ट नो इन एंड आउट ऑफ दैट टूल, राइट। डेफिनेटली अगर मैं डाउन द लाइन में, अगर प्रोडक्ट की जानकारी मुझे कंप्लीटली नहीं है, या जैसे में मैं, अगर मुझे अपनी एक कंसल्टिंग सर्विस शुरू करनी है, अगर मुझे इन आउट नहीं पता है उसके बारे में, तो मैं जिसके अंडर जिसको काम करवाऊंगा कुछ भी काम करेगा मेरे अंडर में, राइट। हमें क्या पता है, राइट। फिर आप एंटरप्रेन्योर नहीं कहलाओगे, आप कहलाओगे इन्वेस्टर, ठीक है, कि मुझे उस बिजनेस के बारे में कोई जानकारी नहीं है, मैंने सिर्फ पैसा डाला है और मेरे नीचे वाले मेरे लिए काम कर रहे हैं, ठीक है। दैट इज वेरी गुड थिंग, बट उसके लिए बहुत टाइम है, मतलब इट टेक्स अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम, राइट। वो शार्क टैंक वाले इन्वेस्टर्स होते हैं, ठीक है, उनको सब बिजनेस का उतना नॉलेज नहीं होता है, बट दे इन्वेस्ट। बट उनका जो डोमेन है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ यू गो एंड आस्क अमन गुप्ता कि हाउ मार्केटिंग वर्क्स, और बी टू सी मार्केटिंग, उसको पूरा होल्ड है उससे, बॉस, उस पर कोई उसको उसको बेवकूफ नहीं बना सकता, राइट। सेम गोज फॉर दैट गाय अनुपम मित्तल, राइट। उनको उनका उनके प्रोडक्ट पे होल्ड है। सो दैट्स व्हाट द थिंग इज, फर्स्ट ट्राई टू ग्रूम योरसेल्फ, have a groom your product, then hire people, start the entrepreneurship journey. Once you have a good capital, then be an investor, right? Then expand yourself in different domain. That's what I have as my 2 cents on this.
Okay, so I hope जब ऐसे स्टूडेंट्स जो एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप परस्यू करना चाहते हैं वही पॉडकास्ट दिखेंगे तो they'll definitely get to learn something and what they should actually do. Okay, sir. So as this is the era of AI and robotic automation, right? So my question is, how do you see the role of AI automation impacting the future of work in your field?
Okay, Harsh. Yes. So AI is here to stay. I mean, and it will actually enlarge in the upcoming days. You know, so all the mundane tasks, all the recurring tasks which were supposed to be delivered, or maybe you can say वही का वही जो repetitive task है, in a very simple language I'm telling you, ठीक है। जो repetitive task होते हैं, for example टाइम शीट भरना, ठीक है, या एग्जाम्पल किसी वेंडर को मेल भेजना at 10 o'clock 11 o'clock, ठीक है, this will be automated by AI, ठीक है। And the good part is when you have AI with robotic process automation or the RPA, so होगा क्या है, it will understand how the customer is replying back based on the historical trends of interaction. It will give or amend the answer as required. ओके, फॉर एग्जांपल जब हम लोग इंटरेक्ट करते हैं किसी बोर्ड से, राइट, सो उनके पास जो सेट जवाब है वो देते हैं, राइट, बट व्हेन वी हैव एआई इन प्लेस इट विल गिव यू द आंसर बेस्ड ऑन योर actual ask and based on your historical pattern what you have interacted, ठीक है. It is here, it is going to stay, whether you are, say, in the field of marketing, IT analytics, data transformation, automation, process improvement. AI is here to stay, ठीक है ना. We being a job seeker or a student or a newbie in the market should understand Gen AI, ठीक है, और AI capabilities, ठीक है. When I say about AI capabilities, आपको ये मालूम होना चाहिए AI क्या कर सकता है ना, और क्या उसकी लिमिटेशन है, ठीक है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल इट कैन बी एज सिंपल एज कि मैं आपसे पूछूं कि एआई के ऊपर ऐसे ऐसे लिख के दिखाओ, सो आप उसके प्रोज लिखोगे, उसके कॉन्स लिखोगे, कहाँ इंप्लीमेंट होता है, राइट, है ना. जैसे हम जब व्हेन वी आर इन क्लास 10th 11th 12th व्हेन वी हैड दिस ऐसे, राइट, विज्ञान के चमत्कार, आई डोंट नो हिंदी में ऐसे मेरे ख्याल से हर एक को कभी ना कभी एनकाउंटर हुआ होगा, राइट. उसी तरीके से एआई यू शुड नो, being a job seeker, what is AI, what are its capabilities, how AI can be beneficial in your field. If you are a content writer, for example, how it can enhance the content writing part. If you are maybe a software coder, or maybe I am a part of innovation management, how actually AI play a vital role in innovation management part, ठीक है, बस इतना ही है, ठीक है. Once you understand this part, you'll be very much efficient. AI will be working as a partner for you, ठीक है. जैसे बॉस का पीए होता है ना, किसी सीईओ का पीए होता है, ठीक है, वैसे एआई आपका पीए रहेगा, ठीक है, पर्सनल असिस्टेंट. यूज इट. एआई एआई आप यूज करो एआई को, ठीक है, ऐसे कि भाई ये काम कर दे, मैं टाइप किया ये काम कर दे, ठीक है. दैट विल एक्चुअली हेल्प यू, ठीक है. So understand in this way it is going to stay, and don't worry. I understand industry in थोड़ा बहुत जितना जानता हूँ मैं, ठीक है, कि यार जॉब्स वगैरह कुछ खाएगा नहीं, ठीक है. इट विल मेक योर लाइफ मोर इंटरेस्टिंग, ठीक है. यू हैव मोर आइडियाज फ्लोइंग इन, ठीक है. अगर आप काम कर रहे हो किसी एक ही एक टास्क, यू विल अंडरस्टैंड डिफरेंट वेज ऑफ वर्किंग इट, ठीक है. अगर आप एक कस्टमर सर्विस रिप्रेजेंटेटिव, इफ यू आर हैविंग इंटरेक्शन विद द कस्टमर, वो भी क्लाइंट भी हो सकता है, if you're having a word with your CIO in America, आप रिफ्रेम करके बोलो कि इस शब्द को कैसे एफिशिएंटली बात कर सकता हूँ, राइट. इट इज हेल्पिंग यू, ठीक है. इट्स योर पीए. अंडरस्टैंड इन दिस फॉर्मेट ओनली, ठीक है. यूज एआई इन एन एफिशिएंट वे एंड मेक इट एज अ पार्ट एंड पार्सल ऑफ योर लाइफ.
So the conclusion is कि AI को जॉब पे ना देखते हुए एक अपॉर्चुनिटी देखना है इसमें.
एब्सोल्युटली. वेरी वेल सेड, Harshvardhan. Yeah.
So moving towards our last question of the today's podcast series. So the last question is, sir, if you could go back in time, what advice would you give to your younger self, the younger Abhijit? What will
Oh,
be
very good, yeah.
your advice to you?
Okay, very good question, Harsh. And I'll give an answer in two context to this. Okay. First is I'll move back to the college because that's where we contemporary we can connect, right? Uh, So when if I'm Abhijit sitting back in 2010 or 9, one thing I'll say, even though I was very active in my college times, in various tech fest, various events, I'll say to myself that being in college, try to have, try to explore more outside college also. That is, have different ventures in place. Try to join some clubs, whether it's a Toastmaster club, maybe it's a Rotary club. Have some networking in place at very start of your career. You know, it will be beneficial for you throughout, definitely. So जितना हो सके उतना नेटवर्किंग करने का मैं अपने आप को करूँगा. एंड देन सेकंड थिंग इज अगेन, we have almost I think 40 45 subjects, right, throughout my or engineering, right, है ना. So become an SME of few subjects, ठीक है, ऑलवेज, ठीक है. ये मैं अपने आप को सलाह दूंगा आज भी कि यार सी इट्स लाइक दैट. इसको एनालॉजी ऐसे समझो इस चीज़ को कि अगर आपका कोई दोस्त या आपका कोई यार मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर का है, ठीक है ना, मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग कर रहा है, ठीक है, और आपने उससे पूछा कि यार ये जो नई बाइक आई है BS6 या BS7, हाँ, पेट्रोल से, इसमें क्या डिफरेंस है यार. वो बोलेगा यार भाई मुझे नहीं पता यार, मैं इतना फोकस नहीं हूँ. व्हाट विल यू से यार, तो मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर यार, तुझे पता होना चाहिए, राइट, है ना. सेम गोस फॉर सिविल इंजीनियर. आप पूछोगे सिविल इंजीनियर से कि ये जो ट्रेजर आइलैंड टीआई का जो नया मॉल बना है अपने यहाँ पे इंदौर में, ये यार इतना बढ़िया कैसे बना है यार, ये इतना मतलब इतना बड़ा कैसे रखा होगा इतना ऊपर डोम, यार मुझे नहीं पता यार, वो वाला लेक्चर मैं छोड़ दिया था यार क्लास में. that doesn't sound good, right? है ना? So I advise to myself, a younger me, is become an SME of few subjects always. Have that hold, jack of all trades but master of few, one or two. बिकॉज वो एक लर्निंग ऐसी है ना कि ग्रेजुअली आप जब इंडस्ट्री में आओगे, अगेन यूल बी हैविंग दिस एनालॉजी में, आपके 40 सब्जेक्ट्स अभी कॉलेज में, यूल बी हैविंग 40 टास्क स्प्रेड अक्रॉस डिफरेंट डिफरेंट डोमेन, ठीक है. बट देन इफ यू आर मास्टर ऑफ फ्यू, वो मास्टर ऑफ फ्यू आपको आगे लेके जाएंगे और उससे आपके और नए रास्ते ओपन अप होंगे, ठीक है. So few set of advice is good. Do good networking in college. Be very active in college. Very good. I'm very impressed with you, Harshvardhan and Rajveer. Be very active in college. Party जहाँ मिले मौका वहाँ participate करो. Learning ही learning है. कॉलेज के बाहर ही पार्टिसिपेट करो, इंटरेक्ट करो दूसरे कॉलेज से, गो इन दैट मूड इंडिगो. अभी भी होता है कि आई डोंट नो, आईआईटी बॉम्बे वाला मूड इंडिगो, ठीक है. बी अ पार्ट ऑफ दैट. इफ यू गेट अ चांस, टेक फेस्ट में पार्टिसिपेट करो, बाहर नेटवर्किंग करो, ठीक है. एंड देन become an SME of the subjects. Self, I'm giving advice to me. 10-12 साल पहले वाला अभिजीत. Okay.
Thank you so much, sir. We are also getting a lot of things to learn from you also. So that's a wrap for today. Thank you so much for sharing your valuable time with us. Thank you so much to all the organizing team also for organizing this podcast. And I'm really sure all the viewers will be watching our podcast will definitely learn something new and something which can shape their future also. And for our viewers, thank you for watching this and join us next time for more tips and stories that will guide you through your post grad journey. Until then, stay motivated and keep exploring your path to success. Thank you so much again to Abhijeet Kulkarni sir and the organizing team.
Thanks Harshvardhan, thanks Rajveer, and thank you Rohit for your guidance to both of them. It was a pleasure interacting with all of you.